Welcome to the next step in your journey to becoming a place-based activity leader. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, which will help you prepare for the upcoming volunteer training. Take a minute to close your eyes and imagine a person who is experiencing homelessness. What is the first image that comes to your mind? You may have imagined a man with a beard, a person sitting outside with a cardboard sign. Would you be surprised if I told you the reality is that the fastest growing population of people experiencing homelessness consists of young mothers likely to have an incomplete education and 2 preschool-age children? Every year, hundreds of thousands of American families become homeless, including more than 2.5 million children, according to the National Center on Family Homelessness. To give you a visual of what that looks like for Massachusetts children, think of the TD Garden, which has 17,565 seats. The number of children under 6 experiencing homelessness in the state of Massachusetts is 18,283. This would more than fill the TD Garden with children under the age of 6. That means that 1 in 24 children in Massachusetts is experiencing homelessness. Family homelessness is caused by many different factors, including lack of social supports, a lack of affordable housing, poverty, domestic violence, decreasing government supports, an incomplete education, and substance abuse or mental illness. Let's take a minute to talk through the financial challenges that can cause homelessness. Minimum wage in Massachusetts is $11 an hour. According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in Massachusetts, you would need to make $27 an hour or work 104 hours at minimum wage. It's not hard to see why many families are struggling to afford housing. The types of shelter programs that Horizons partners with include domestic violence shelters, teen parenting programs, recovery sober living programs, emergency assistance shelters, and transitional living programs. When a family moves into shelter, they lose more than just their home. Families also lose their possessions, as they are only allowed to bring 2 trash bags worth of belongings into shelter with them. Families lose their sense of community. If offered a shelter placement in Springfield, it must be accepted, even if the family had previously been residing in Boston. Through this transition, families often lose their doctors, friends, school, place of worship, and more. Families lose daily routines, their privacy, and their sense of security, control, and dignity. But what are other realities of living in shelter? When a family enters shelter, parents are required to search for housing and search for employment or further their education. They are also required to save 30% of their income in order to have money for when they leave shelter. Some other realities of living in shelter are having to parent in public. Think about a mom at the store with her child who may be misbehaving, and the mom gives the child the side eye, meaning that they will be discussing this behavior when they get home. Well, in shelter, that home comes with a lot more eyes than just the mom and her child. There are caseworkers, shelter employees, volunteers, and other shelter residents observing. In addition to all of these things, a person in shelter also has to live with strangers who may have differences in parenting styles, values, or cultural beliefs, all while sharing a living room, kitchen, and bathroom. They also may have curfews, chores, quiet hours, and required meetings. While all of these things may seem stressful for parents, Imagine these experiences through the eyes of a child. Children experiencing homelessness are twice as likely to be sick, 5 times as likely to have digestive problems, twice as likely to suffer from ear infections, 4 times as likely to have asthma. They have twice the rate of learning disabilities and are 4 times as likely to have developmental delays. A little bit of stress is okay. It's something we all deal with in everyday life. But if that stress has always been there, and you can't see a time when it's not going to be there, and you don't have a buffer to protect you from that stress, it becomes something else. Toxic stress. This is defined as long-term exposure to stressful situations and can lead children to being stuck in a fight-or-flight state where they are unable to calm down enough to play, laugh, and allow joy into their lives. This doesn't mean that every child we work with is experiencing toxic stress, but they are all living with some level of stress and are all at risk for toxic stress, which is one of the reasons why play space is so important. Play space gives children the space to play, and one of the best ways to address the effects of toxic stress on homeless children is to offer them an opportunity to play and explore and learn alongside consistent and caring adults. Play is at the core of the values of Horizons for Homeless Children. We believe in the power of play to help children learn and heal. Horizons for Homeless Children's mission is to improve the lives of young homeless children in Massachusetts and help families succeed by providing high-quality early education, opportunities for play, and comprehensive family support services. As the only organization in Massachusetts devoted exclusively to serving the educational needs of homeless children, we fulfill our mission by advocating for families, operating early education centers, and with our shelter-based play spaces in communities across the state. Do you know how many people it takes to contact a legislator to get attention for an important issue? It takes only 5. Together, PALs have a strong voice to help advocate for the needs of homeless families. The voices of the 2,000 children Horizon serves every week are underrepresented. It is through our policy and advocacy initiatives that we give homeless families a stronger voice in governmental decision-making. Horizons operates 3 early education centers based in Greater Boston, which opened in 1994. They provide high-quality early education and care to 175 children daily, completely free of charge to families. Our centers are a model for ensuring school readiness among young homeless children. By supporting the social, emotional, physical, and cognitive development of homeless children, engaging families, and delivering high-quality education, our centers ensure that children participating in our program are ready to succeed in school and their parents are ready to support their success. Family partnerships help provide resources and connections to families once they move on from an early education center. The Play Space program is a partnership with shelters, which began in 1988 when members of the organization Bright Horizons found that young preschool-age children had no access to early education. Now, with over 90 partnerships in communities across the state, we provide shelter-based play spaces that are staffed by trained volunteers who attend weekly play shifts with children. During the volunteer training, we'll discuss more about the Play Space program and the value of play. Thank you for completing the first step to becoming a Play Space activity leader. We look forward to meeting you in person soon.